All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Brogan. Today we are back for another simple signal stream. Now we're down. To no surprise, I mean, especially not to me anyway. I'm gonna gloat today. I did warn this on the giveaway stream. Today's gonna be a gloating stream because I did, call this move. Posted some things in the Telegram. Talked about it on some streams. Talked about it on last stream on the, obviously simple significance or simple signal. Sorry. And obviously talked about it on the giveaways that were going to come down. Obviously, some people thought we were going to go up, but I disagreed. And obviously, where are we right now? 59,271. So you see who won there. I'll also obviously really go through all the charts, go through exactly why I thought we were going to come down, and why we are coming down, and where we're going to go to, where could we see roughly our price reach, and where we're going to go from here, I suppose. So let's get into it. But before we do, please consider liking the stream. Obviously, it's completely free, not even a dime or a dollar costing you or anybody out there. Just press the button. That's it. That's all you gotta do, and it helps us greatly if you do so. Also, if you enjoy the content by the end of the stream, or if you've watched a couple of streams and you think this is a good thing to watch, then consider following, subscribing, notifications especially. That's the most important thing, so you get notified whenever we do another stream or a video. And if you do want to especially support the channel, you can obviously donate or this, that, the other. Come over to YouTube as well. This is the main area to do a members only subscription, $2.99 a month. You get access to a OG Telegram where there's kind of private content in terms of like charts and whatnot. I do post them. I do talk about what I talk about in the Telegram here, but you can come ask questions. You can come share your ideas, and we do TA collectively there. The Kish and the Goat in that Telegram. Literally just I've never seen a trade lower than 250% from him. So obviously you want to come join that, then go to YouTube. But if you don't want to, or this or the other, completely fine. Just a like and a follow will suffice. I think that's it. Other than the links in the description, especially the Telegram. Although I did just talk about the OG one, there is a public one where everyone is, like the majority of people there. Do go there, because that is where you get notified. So you can talk to us as well as the OG group. So if you don't want to do anything and you want it all for free and don't want to don't want anything to cost you, like and a follow and join the group. Join the main group. So other than that, as I've already said, I think I'm good for my mental checklist of every single thing I ever need to say forever this entire stream. So I think that's it. Let's get into some percentages. I just want to see what's going on. I want to see what's going on. I want to see exactly what percentages we've been doing. Let me refresh the page to make sure we are on the exact price that we currently are right now. We are at 59,301, 59.2, basically 59.3 right now. 1% up in the 1 hour, which is pretty good. 3 minutes. We're having a bit of pump. We are having a bit of a pump actually, to be fair, because we've come down from like 2 fair value gaps on Bitcoin especially. We've surpassed like a decent support area. We've come to a certain price, and now we're starting to pump a bit back up. So we will see where that brings us. And obviously we're pretty active right now. You can see the 1%, 2.53 for Ethereum is actually completely crazy, because obviously we are only 5 minutes into the new hour, and we're already up 2.3%, 1%. So we're moving pretty crazy. So today's TA is going to be pretty interesting, hopefully. Anyway, so I guess we'll just get into it. I mean, 24-hour, look, we're really neutral. We've not really moved. We are crabbing a bit. We have come down, though. You can even see on the little preview, if my head's not covering it, we have generally come down. Obviously, this is the last 7 days, but we have generally come down. Obviously, this big dump basically being or this one here, from this little area downwards, is the rising wedge we had. I believe it is, or somewhere in there, the rising wedge. Maybe this end one, actually. But we have come down pretty far. So obviously, we're going to need a bit of a retracement. If not, is my head getting cut off? Hope not. Obviously we needed some sort of retracement, not only now, currently in the next, day, whatever, this and the other. We're going to need to retrace a tiny bit, but we haven't fulfilled our full potential for the rising wedge. So I'm not expecting a move back up all the way to where we were at 61k. I'm not expecting that really, unless there's something going on. Unless we bounce off of the trend line of the rising wedge, that's the only potential I see. I don't expect us to go towards anywhere near where we were, like 65, 64k. I don't see that not anytime soon, but I don't really see that right now, because we're coming down properly. We had a head and shoulders, we had the rising wedge, with fair value gaps, which we inversed, which I said on the stream. There were some people, I think Chris Life was one of them. I think people did look at the fair value gap. I was saying on my stream, though, you can go back and watch the stream, I was saying we need to be careful about fair value gaps. They're kind of like let me think of an example. They're kind of like an explosion. Things just go everywhere. You can try to predict it, but you don't really know where all the shrapnel is going to go. it's kind of like that. It's very, unpredictable when it comes to it. It's like you come to it, you either fill it and then you carry on, or you show signs that you're going to reverse, and then you flip it, and then you use it as resistance and you go on. That's what I was saying basically on my stream we need to be careful of. And the fact that we had a rising wedge and we could have put in head and shoulders was kind of telling me that, okay, cool, we might be a bit more negative than positive, and I think we're on the, the side of things that we're going to flip this instead of obviously, using it as support or demand area, whatever, and then coming up all the way to the highs. So I've yapped. Let's actually just go onto the chart and let's have a little nose what's going on. So this is some TA I've already done. Here you can see we're doing pretty well, especially this bounce coming back up and coming down again is the general action we saw. Again, I always say this every single time I do TA. Let me do some purple actually. I always say whenever I draw lines or paths, they never are based solely on like the time-based things. They're not like, oh yeah, we're going to do this in the next 30 minutes. It is a movement-based thing. So you can see, obviously, that the movement was, we came off this area, we came up, and then we came down again. So what happened? We came off this area, came up, and then came down. Obviously, we surpassed this level, which is pretty strong, actually. Obviously, we had this here, this order block, which we actually surpassed. We've dipped below it, and now we've come back up. So we didn't test it as a... and importantly, I always say this about order blocks, an order block can be flipped into a breaker block, but you have to come back to test it. You can dip below an order block and come back up and not necessarily have to test it for it to still be a support resistance point. And that's important in this example right here, is the fact that we have this is a bullish order block. You can see the down arrow to the up arrow, or the down candle, sorry, to the up candle being positive, and you can see we use it as support all the way here. We flipped it, and now we've come back up again. And now we're coming back into it. So basically what I see is, you can see this little gap here, which we didn't really follow. And this is on the 1 hour especially. So normally on fair value gaps and whatnot, on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you normally follow them after a couple of candles. You can see we came into it with this wick, but number one, we didn't really fill it. But number two, we never responded. So what I'm seeing is we've got this kind of flip of this. So what I'm expecting is we've came up and now we're going to come back into it, maybe towards 58.7 and then come back up again. Because again, think about premium discount, from your long area to your short area. We're currently going to be in a discount area. So we're eventually going to see a slight stop of downwards movement, but we're still going to be in a negative trend. So I think the overall trend is still continuously going to be negative up until we see our final point of this rising wedge all the way down here, which is what... I'm not saying this is guaranteed, but I'm saying is... This is the length of the wedge. Now, I'm not saying wedges, bear this in mind. Wedges never have to, or they don't always follow one-to-one in terms of, they don't always have to go exactly to the price point of the, the flag or the pole, whatever you want to talk about, or you want to call them. But they do, roughly go into the area. So the rough area of the flag is 53.20. But this is, again, this is a rejection block. So we could come to the midpoint at 51.5, or come to the top at 54. It's a big range. But it would be nice if we came all the way to the bottom. Again, what did I say? It can come, before the pole, but it could also come afterwards. So I'm thinking, we could have some sort of double bottom. I said this in the Telegram already. Could come to the 49k. If we did that, if we bounced the 49k, that would be huge. Because then we'd have a good scenario to have, basically, a double bottom back up to 70k. Now, bearing in mind, what have I always talked about? We have the AMD phase. We have this phase currently going on. Yeah, I have this here. I just drew this quickly because this is what could happen. Okay, this is an example. If you rode the movement from the bottom of this wick, from the bottom of this pole, if it happens, all the way up to 85k, which is my personal final point for the movement upwards. I'm not saying it's going to be the max top. That's obviously not true. But there's some people who think 90k, 100k. So this could be more. This is kind of conservative. But obviously, if we go from this pole and you ride it all the way up, just a spot buy, not any like futures or anything, just a spot, so you buy it and that's it. You're going to get a 69% profit, 69.5. So, haha, very funny number, very nice. But still, a good profit nonetheless, especially for something which is spot and no leverage at all. Extremely good profit, especially on Bitcoin. But what was I just saying? I could expect a downwards movement, bit of a hoverage, maybe a bit more movement upwards, and then downwards again. Sometimes, and this isn't all the time, there are moments where there's a rising wedge or a flag or whatever, where it goes in a straight line all the way up to where it needs to go to. But in this case, I'm not thinking that's the exact thing we're going to do. I'm thinking, obviously, we've got this really big, really huge movement downwards. I'm thinking, obviously, we might come up a bit, maybe back into this fair value gap, which I don't think we're going to do. Maybe back towards 60k, potentially. Obviously, we've got some resistance on the lower time frames above us now. But somewhere hovering here, and then we're going to continue downwards. So I'm thinking we're just recovering a bit before we come down. Because if you look at any of the oscillators or anything, we're probably going to be really, really oversold. So we're probably going to hover for a bit, and then continue to come down. But the lines I've marked out as 56k as our previous low. So we had... our previous high, this was like our main area. We had a 56k and we had 62k. And what do you notice? 62k as our high, sweep the high, and then we come down. Obviously, we could have a scenario where we've produced this, we sweep the high, and we sweep the low, and come back up. I don't think that's what's going to happen. You produce these highs and lows, and then you sweep either or, and then you continue in the opposite direction. So you can see we've formed this. We've obviously swept the high. So what does that mean? We're going to come down. So we don't necessarily have to sweep 56k and then pump, but it signals to us that okay, we've swept the high. We're going to come down to the next low point, which is unless we have a door bottom at 56, I don't really see that. I think it's going to be the general trend, especially on the daily. We're going to come down to these really low prices. I'm going to check the chat though, because I haven't actually looked at the chat since I started the stream. Henri, good afternoon, Henri. Glad you can join us on the stream. Kishan, bring on Roxy. No, Kishan, man, you know what? I've said this so many times. You've got a plaque. I've got you on a plaque on my wall. I can't turn the camera around because it's going to break the whole setup. But trust me, you've got a plaque right there. It's covering my entire wall of just you, Kishan, because the goat. Let me go on to the Binance chat as well. Also, I don't have any water in my room, so I might. My voice might go crazy because I don't need water because it's all downstairs. Okay, let me scroll up, see the chat. Look, a crazy buyback on hold. Yeah, true. I mean, I think we'll go lower though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no. I mean, for the general trend, especially on the weekly, or if you're playing the long game, just buy it. Obviously, you're going to want to get lower prices, but still, these are still going to be good prices. But this movement we have right now is for the people who missed out. And I'm not a saint. I'm not saying I caught the exact 49k bottom. I'm some superhero. But this is a scenario where we found our bottom, and then and now we're coming down again. This is our opportunity to come to this area again at 53k, 51k. This is our opportunity to come to these areas again, and then buy, and then obviously continue our movement. So this is like a the train's gone, but it's not. It's like speeding up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like obviously number one, it's kind of like it's fake to everyone, because I saw a bunch of people on Twitter saying, "Oh my god, we're in this like bull flag." It was like a 1 hour bull flag. We're going to pump. I thought the chart pattern didn't look very good. I could probably go find it. Matthew Harlan had it as well. I don't want to sound like I'm dissing people. I really don't. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you go, "Oh, this guy's dissing, this guy." I'm not saying that. I'm not dissing these people. I'm just saying where I saw these and why I disagreed with it. I saw his chart pattern, but it was too overextended in both regards that we never bounced off any of the walls, and that we didn't use it. But obviously, the higher time frames are going to be king. They're going to be stronger, and you can see we had this rising wedge this entire time. So we're clearly going to be following this more so than anything else. So you know what I'm saying. But let me go back to this. So you can see we had this. The train's going. The trains start to go, but the train doesn't immediately just shoot. It's not like a bullet train. It doesn't like boom like that. Immediately start going. It starts to speed up a bit. So this was our this bounce off this bottom was our train speeding up. You can see as we're coming up, this is the forewarning of okay, cool. I'm speeding up right now. You kind of need to get on the train. Obviously, in this case, you need a short. But then as we're coming down, this is okay. The train is about to get out the tunnel, or about to go into the tunnel. Probably in this case, you need to get in pretty much right now. Not right now because we're at 59k. I think we can go lower. But in this range, and then we're off we go, I suppose. But obviously, bearing in mind AMD cycles, manipulation. I think accumulation doesn't really matter. Generally, the important part of AMD is majoritively the end of manipulation and distribution. That is the only really important part. Accumulation is just there, really. But it's a forewarning of, okay, if you're crabbing a bit and then you have a big move somewhere, that kind of tells you what's going on. So if you start to see crabbing and a big wick upwards, you're going down. Because what is an AMD phase? Look, if I go bearish, I can't even type. I think I'll call it bearish AMD phase. I think that'll work, right? Here we go, yeah. So this is bearish AMD phase. So you have this kind of crab, you're kind of consolidating, you're accumulating. And then your manipulation is you're moving upwards. And then whatever you do in your manipulation, you do the opposite in your distribution. So you can see this is a bearish one, for example. You're doing your accumulation, you're doing this, that, the other. Manipulation, you go above a certain range, certain price point, and then you do some up here. Liquidity sweep, obviously it says in this case, and then you come down, obviously. It is in a bearish case. So, you could probably attribute this to what we're doing, maybe not right now, actually. But you can see, okay, cool, this is kind of right here. You can see you got these two lines here, roughly. We're kind of hovering. This is our sweep, and then we come down. But it's not very good there. it lines up with time scales more so than just like here, there, and everywhere. This was really good. I think I drew this already. This was a really good response off of the fair value gap. But this isn't what we're doing right now. This is what we're doing. So you can see like what we're doing. Okay, accumulation, manipulation, liquidity sweep from these lows. Distribution, we're going to go upwards. But again, distribution doesn't have to last a bunch of time. You can see we're coming up right now. So this might mean we come towards, you know, we've already done this fair value gap. So where's our next high? This is an order block up here, for example. Where next? Where next can we see? Order block here, for example. So we could stop there. Let's see how, you know, see the potential of it, you know. I want to see how good it is. So you can see, you know, came down. This is a good order block down here. You know, came up, came down. We're not really using it too much. Kind of here. So we could potentially see, you know, 59 whatever, you know, in that rough area. But the distribution lasts higher than the accumulation. So we could see higher than this in this area. So you can see accumulation is this, manipulation. Distribution would probably make us go towards maybe these highs up here at 60k. So what have I just said? I could see a 60k retracement before we come down again, because, you know, we're hovering a bit right now. We're kind of unsure. We're recovering from our absolutely massive dump we've had ever since 65k. This is a massive move. You know, from the tops of 65k all the way down to where we are now. The minimums where we've been at is 10%. Obviously, this has lasted like about, you know, especially from there to the bottom, a day, basically 2 days. So 2 days, 10 nearly 11% is pretty fast. You know, it's not like Godspeed, but it's pretty fast nonetheless. So we do need some sort of, you know, hoverage. We don't always need some, but we need a bit of hoverage before we continue downwards. But I'm not seeing, I don't think, you know, 57k is going to be the bottom. I don't think, oh yeah, we've bounced already. I think we continue downwards a bit more. I could be wrong, obviously not financial advice, but I think we should be coming down a bit more. So right now we're kind of hovering. We see we're bouncing off the midpoint of this order block from back here. Let me go back to the 4 hour to see if there's anything interesting. I mean, we could be producing. You see, we've done this now, aren't we? So you can see we flipped it, and now we're starting to form another flip here, which is good. So if we hold this midpoint, what we could do, if I change the color of this, you know, this kind of backs up the idea that we could go upwards. You can see we flipped this. We're in a discount area, so shorts are not going to be as likely in this case. Since we're crabbing now, we're probably going to change our dealing range, and then we're going to be in a discount. We're going to be in a premium. We're going to hit another negative fair value gap and come down again. But you can see this rough area, we flipped it, so this is going to be an inverse. So you can see if we print this out on the 41 minute, and then we come back into it at about, you know, 58,695, that'll be our move up. So you can see if we kind of do something like this, this will be our move upwards. Back towards like about 60k area, you know, somewhere here. Well, you know, you can see what is the general trend. We'll probably do, you know, you can see here, this is exactly what we're doing. This is our high, these are our lows down here. So what we're going to do now, we've done our low. This is our lower low. Or, yeah, well, it's relatively equal lows, but it's still technically a lower low. So what's next? You do a lower low, you do a lower high. So we're coming up now to our lower high, make it basically at 60k, 60,300, and then we're going to come down again, do another lower low, maybe at, you know, 56. And we're going to continue that all the way down up until the finishing of the rising wedge down here at 50k. That's what I think we're going to do. I think, yeah, I mean, you know what? I think I should probably spend more time on Ethereum and Solana. So I think that's pretty good. I'm actually going to see the chat now really quickly, just to see if anyone's speaking. Oh yeah, I actually didn't even finish the Binance chat. What are people saying? What's driving the downward trend stock market up? Well, this fair value doesn't help. We had this movement up here, which is pretty massive. I think we had stuff externally though, didn't we? We had pretty external stuff, which caused this movement upwards, and then we crabbed. So I'm not saying, you know, oh yeah, chart patterns cause this, but it's the underlying data within chart patterns and you know, different ways of doing TA which caused it. But I can give you reasons based on the chart, but you know, macroeconomically, looking at, you know, everything outside the chart, you know, I don't know every single you know, spark of detail. You know what I'm saying? But you know, what else people said? So thanks, Crypto Warehouse. Thank you for joining more so than anything. There's a lot. You know what? There's actually not that bad of spam. There's actually some people talking in the Binance chat, which is actually pretty nice. Okay, I lied. Never mind. Someone said, okay, Dilk said, how about ETH? Yeah, I'm going to look at ETH. So normally we do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and then we move on to suggested coins, which I actually forgot to say. So if you're here, someone says time waste, leave then. If you do want a coin covering, then put in the chat, and I will I will cover it after we do Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. I'll move on to other coins. If not, we'll just go back over Bitcoin, have a little nosy, whatever. But no over chat, so I will probably move on to Ethereum. I'll give a quick recap though, just to condense it. I know I yapped a bit then for about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna condense it. We have this, we flipped, which we have this corner. I do think, however we may see it, we're gonna eventually come back up towards these areas, maybe. Not this. This isn't validated, so we actually don't need this anymore because we've already done it. So now the next step is coming above this area up here, because as I've already said, we had this, lower this. I reckon a lower down here, maybe in this area, and then we're gonna continue downwards. Following this. This trend all the way down to here. I think we're gonna come down. I said it. I keep glowing, but I can't. People are saying we're gonna go up. People are saying we had bull flags on the 1 hour. I just disagree completely because it wasn't. No, I think we had a falling wedge. I didn't draw it, so I can't remember what people said. But I just didn't see it personally. And I'm glad I didn't see it because we had this fair value gap. We invested, obviously, like I said, came to the midpoint perfectly. Like I said on the 30-minute. This was just absolutely perfect right here. Really, really nice. Oh no, we filled it on the 30-minute because we had like cascading, like basically like a fractal fair value gaps. But we filled the 30-minute one, fully. Obviously, I think we came to the midpoint roughly on some of these ones somewhere. I think. Where do we see? Yeah, we went up a bit. I mean, we kind of came to a rough area, but on the 30-minute, regardless, we came to where we needed to go to, and then obviously we're coming down now. We're having a bit of a hoverage, but I think all in all, no matter how you think about it, I think we are just coming down to these areas. Rejection block, like I said already. So we do have a big, massive range, but I think a double bottom would be really nice, or equal lows would be really, really nice for Bitcoin on the daily to help us. I don't know if we see down here. I don't know if we see 45k, 44k. I don't think so. I don't personally think so. I don't think I see it. Unless we have a massive wick for like an externality outside of Bitcoin which causes it. I just don't really see it too much myself, personally. But no, we're doing well. I think we'll continue to go downwards regardless. So now is a good time. Obviously, you don't want to get in, while the horse race has already started, whatever you want to say. I don't know. But we still have a way to move. If we do this, maximally. If we only see, this low, we still have a nice movement. If we go from here, there's still nice movements to be had on the short term of things. We haven't fully filled this entire movement downwards yet, so there's still time to get in. And like I said, this movement's basically this. The train's speeding up. This is the last, horn honking before we actually move up all the way to these phases, manipulation downwards, distribution all the way up to 85k, 90k, whatever everyone thinks. So that's what I think. I just ruined that. KB, anybody, what's going on? I'm glad you can join. You know what? It's nice. There's a lot less people than there normally is, but there's actually a nice amount of people on Binance. We're actually talking normally, so it's nice to see. Thank you all guys for joining. And if you're new to joining, your first stream, second stream, and you're liking it so far, consider it. I'm not pressuring anybody, but like the stream. It helps and it's free. Come on, for me. I think I need. Okay, you know what? I'm a mess when it comes to all these charts I've got. But regardless, I've got to go to this different one now with a different theme. Just gone to Ethereum. What? Okay, was I on this one? We did it. We did it. What did I say? I knew it. We came to it. I thought we would. Brilliant. I said 2,450 ages ago. Obviously, it was a bit of a wick. It was a bit wick below 2,400. But look at that print. Exactly to the midpoint of this nondescript range I drew. I don't know why I drew this. But hey. Can't complain, can you? It must have been some sort of gap on the 1 hour. Oh, it was order block territory. Also, is this all bottoms down here? Or is this bottoms? Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay, we came into... Oh, there's a gap here. I'm stupid. Why don't I draw this? No, right, well, there you go, isn't it? Let me change the... Oops. Let me change the background color of this to, like, white or something. There we go. Oh, well, there you go. Fair value gap right there. So, really nice fair value gap. Came to that midpoint pretty much exactly. Obviously, let me hide these vector candles because I like them, but they're a bit messy right now. So, we've came to this fair value gap. We wicked below, but the good thing was, especially on the 4 hour, was we printed... so far anyway, above this wick down here. And then what did we do? We came down and we printed right back on. Now we're using it as support. We're producing a massively nice order block here right now, which is absolutely beautiful here. So if we eventually see this, we could see double bottom really nicely as well. So this is actually a good... Obviously, we're kind of having a convergence in what's going on in different coins. So especially between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you can see, Bitcoin will have this, rising wedge. We kind of bounce, and now we're starting to come down a bit, hovering now. So obviously the next logical move is the downwards movement. But with Ethereum instead, we've kind of got this, double bottom, which could see ourselves come back upwards again. But a really nice downwards movement. You know what? I'm just happy we came there, I'm really happy we came here because this was a nice area which I was waiting for. I was waiting for this. I caught, when did I say this area? I said this like ages ago. But I'm really glad we came to this area. We needed to. Really, really nice double bottom with a potential for this. So eventually, if we see ourselves surpass 2,600 area, then we're way up to, come up past all this. But, bear in mind, we do have some gaps here, which we may or may not inverse. So do bear that in mind. But to be fair, we have come into this one and invalidated it. So next best one could be here. So we could see like a this maybe coming back up to like, I think this is a V pattern as well. So we could see something like that maybe where we fill some of this and then come to 2,600 again, which I've already claimed is a massive area. You can see back here, massive area, massive area, massive area, massive area. So something important there. Coming up probably obviously W pattern would bring us or double bottom would bring us back to roughly where we've already seen. Yeah, back up towards these areas at 2,800, which again, the secondary massive area we've already seen before is 2,800. You know what? That is perfect. The two main areas I've got anyway. There you go. Back up to there. That's what I see going on. So if all follows through, I'm going to assume from here you could see this really good movement in Ethereum. But again, I don't like the market diverging from each other. I don't like things diverging, but you just can't ignore it with what's going on. This doesn't have to follow through again. Chart patterns are never 100% right, but it would surpass this neckline, which would be about here. But we do have resistance at 2,600. But logically, it makes sense between a double bottom and an order block, where if we surpass this level, it's like, okay, well, where's the next best thing? You've got this fair value gap here, maybe some resistance up here, this order block here, or it's this top at 2,800. So it logically makes sense that if we surpass this neckline, we should be on our way up for a massive move for Ethereum back up to these areas. But again, like I said, I don't like the market diverging in its TA, so we'll see, I guess. But so far so good in this structure. Definitely got a really nice order block here when it prints in 30 minutes, if it does. I'm just really glad we came to this fair value gap midpoint. Even better though on the 4 hour though. Instead, if we go back to rectangle, even better there. You know what? I'm claiming that one. Look at that. Isn't that just really, really nice? Oh, I've had this before. $2 off the midpoint. It's always to be, you'd rather be safe than sorry, unless you're doing some like 100x crazy movement and you're not doing cross and you're doing isolated and you can get out in any minute. It's probably safer than sorry to do the top or middle, the first quarter or the last quarter of fair value gaps, because it's a bit safer to get into. But again, they can inverse, so just bear that in mind. Never something too safe. But this one made more sense if you think about it though, because it's like, okay, where's the range? Between this and this before we fell, and obviously that one. It's like, okay, well, that's the wrong one. So okay, well, are we going to see this be positive or negative? Well, discount area, fair value gap, and remember, gold back levels. Let's bring them up. This is in the range. This is in the range of where fair value gaps are. It goes RB, OB, fair value gap. Look, it's structured properly. It is really, really structured properly. You can see how nice that is right there. So if we draw this properly, actually. Look at that. It's almost perfect. It's actually perfect on the gold back level. Isn't that beautiful? Really, really nice there. You can see really, really nice levels here. I mean, you can use gold back levels in many, many ways, but one of them is obviously someone who trades ICT and the premium discount arrays. This is what structures what's valid and not valid in the premiums and discounts. Normally, anyway. You can use them in so many different ways, though. There's not one singular way. You can see as well these main bounces in the normal prints. Where is this? Where is this directly on? Equilibrium. We reached equilibrium, and now we're coming back up again. So we're staying in this premium, wicking down into discount to find this fair value gap, which is keeping us upwards. So we're probably going to see ourselves come back upwards towards here. But remember as well, fair value gaps. You can see even this one was perfect. This is a good fair value gap. You came into it, came down, came into it, came down. This is in fair value gap range. So what can we see? You've got rejection blocks, up at these levels. So we'd probably see this wick here be a rejection block, which is exactly on 2,800. So again, gold back levels, premium discount, really big source there. Really big source. The top one of the PD array is rejection block, which is between this gold line and here. Rejection block is the wick between the candle and the top. That is normally where you see resistance. And you can see what happened was, we formed it, we came back onto it, and then we came down. So this is going to be a decent resistance point. And again, where's the midpoint of this rejection block, which is where you normally see consequent encroachment? Where is it? It's exactly on 2,805. So I think this is going to be a solid resistance point. I think this is solid for buy. I think we're in equilibrium. I think we are going to come up. I think we are going to see this this block here form, and I think we're going to continue onwards, up towards these areas for Ethereum. But anyway, I've yapped. Let's go on to Solana now. It's 9:30, so I'll spend a tiny bit on Solana. I did a new chart because I want it to be a bit cleaner. It might not be very good though, so I might change it. What I was looking at was these lows here, sweeping them and then coming back upwards. So you can see this was our sweep of that one. So our next one was obviously these areas here. You can see really nice here. So we draw these across. I can't draw. There we go. Really nice there. You can see. Probably goes to 4 hour though instead. Really, you can see this, a perfect sweep. Low, equal low. That is the setup right there. 2 equal lows right here. This is good news. So when you see price go below this, you know you can have a quick wick down, a quick wick upwards, and a movement upwards, because it's basically a change. I don't know how to say it. I probably am going to say it wrong if I say it, but it's basically an area of change, I suppose. Shoot me. I don't know if I can say that though. But you can see we've done it. We're coming up now. Fair value gap. We've filled it, and now we're coming down again. But I don't really see too much because you can see we're starting to firm this. And again, remember, where are we right now? Let me do a wide PD area. Let me do this really massive one from here to here. Actually, I could probably use the GB levels because they are technically the lower. Again, here, perfect. Look at that bounce on that line. Let me make sure this is perfect before I let me do that there. There we go. Perfect. Now let's zoom in. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? On that GB level. Right there. I'm telling you, GB level is the source. Bounce off that line as well. Oh no, I'm stupid. That's another line. But you can see we've come to equilibrium twice here, really nicely. And what's this? Oh, I can't remember what this is now. I think it's mitigation block. So there's going to be something back here, which is basically an area of basically an upwards downwards movement. It was basically an order block, to be fair though. So if we come to here, you can see this one here is pretty good. So if we draw this across, let's see how well this was formed. So if we draw this, and shimmy it across. It was used well here. Obviously, this is our big wick, but again, midpoint, bottom of it. So you can see, pretty perfect in terms of this mitigation block. But regardless, GB levels are being used, being respected decently nice. We are currently hovering in this area of equilibrium. Remembering what Bitcoin's doing and what everything else may potentially do. We obviously want to be careful of continuing downwards and then producing ourselves into rejection block, order block, fair value gap down all the way into these areas, which is something you want to be careful of. So let me zoom back in. So yeah, we're currently respecting this fair value gap. You can see really nice fill of it here, really perfect. So we're filling this right now. You can see we're coming down, and we could potentially fill this and have another one there if we print. So you can see formed, filled, probably fill again and come down. So you can see it's kind of like a V like that. I do think we come back up though for Solana. I do think we can see that. In terms of what we're doing, I think we do have this fair value gap here, which I would like us to fill. And again, remember, this is liquidity. We've swept this liquidity now on these 2 lows back here. So we swept this. We're now going to come up, and we're going to find either this order block, and again be in this range again. This is kind of like a boom like this. You know what? It's like a really obvious head and shoulders, or really construed head and shoulders. You can see really rough. It's like a bum. Never mind, forget it. But regardless, you can see it's kind of doing like that. So what's the logical move? It comes up. Where's it going to come up to? If we're in a premium, which is above equilibrium. So if we're in premium, all these are going to be a bit more valid than not. So we can see we're going to form this. either there. Okay, let me actually draw another one on the 1 hour because again, let me do it in yellow so it can't add up. So we've got this rough area here, basically at 142, 143 area, coming up to there. I think that's where we're going to stop ourselves at. So we kind of have this coming on, maybe come up to here, and then come down again. So I think we do eventually come up now. I do think we come down before we come up. But you could enter if we don't flip this fair value gap, and then come back up towards here for like a little 5%. Below this GB level here at 2%. So we could come up to here. I think 143 is going to be the good area though, which is about 5% here. So I could see this. For Solana, as we retrace back down before we come up again. But again, like I said, we're having a bit of a divergence in what the market's doing in terms of Bitcoin and other coins like Solana and Ethereum. As we see with Ethereum, we've got that double bottom. We're at a discount area where we have a fair value gap, so we could be coming upwards. We've got the GB levels which we're respecting. Solana's respecting these GB levels. Obviously, we filled this at this mitigation block. We're at equilibrium right now, but we're technically this order block is formed below equilibrium, which should mean it should come up. So normally the way it works, it's not 100%. Bear that in mind. In discount areas, you want to look for fair value gaps and order blocks which are going to be on the positive side of things. Obviously, you can break out of dealing ranges because otherwise you'd permanently be in a range forever and ever and ever. But still, you want to look for fair value gaps which are going to be positive. You can see this is formed in a discount area and it's positive. And this is formed, to be fair, this is formed in equilibrium, so it's kind of like a choppy straw. A choppy area, whatever. But still, it was valid. But I think this is going to be valid regardless as well. So we're going to fill this and then come up again, continuing up to this 143. And again, remember, premium area, you want to look for lower, lower end fair value gaps, which are going to bring you down. But again, you can have, if you go on lower time frames, you can do a smaller dealing range, which will then be more valid. So, you could probably do another dealing range in between here and here. And then what do we see? Well, where are we? What about this fair value gap? Okay, so actually, this is getting a bit messy. Let me just do normal premium discount. So you go, okay, so this whole thing is in a premium. Or, no, I'm stupid. It's in discount. I drew it wrong. I drew it wrong around, but it doesn't really matter. So this is when you want to look for buys because you're in a discount area. You can see, where's our price hovering at? It's hovering at equilibrium point. So you can see this fair value gap, perfect fair value gap, is in the premium range where it's probably going to be more likely that it's going to succeed than not. And again, these ones, this technically succeeded. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect every single time. But this one isn't in a discount area. Or it's not a negative one in a discount area. But this one is a positive in a discount area. So this should technically follow through more so than not follow through. So let me draw that a bit better. There we go. So I think this is going to fulfill. I think you can see the midpoint meets pretty much directly at this equilibrium point on the higher time frame. So I think we're going to meet back at this low point in the equilibrium and then come back up, to $143 for Solana, is what I can see. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it though. I think that's pretty much it for the main coins. We are 8 minutes over my preferred time. Let me scroll through the Binance chat because the YouTube chat's a bit quiet, as Velro said. What are people saying? Okay, let me scroll up. I don't know where I exactly was. I'll go through every comment I can. We've got some good market movement today. I think it's been. I can feel it, subconsciously when either I do TA, which I find easy to do, or not, is when I know when the market's in a obvious scenario or not. I don't know where I last was. If you've got a crucial comment which I haven't read yet, then please do post it again because there's a lot of comments in the chat. So do please put it again so I can see it. You look a great TM, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I try. I do try. But again, it's never going to be perfect. And if you do watch someone else, I think the camera's a bit wonky. If you do watch someone else, on YouTube or wherever, they do streams, and they don't say not financial advice or it's never perfect, take it from me for them that, no one ever gives, no one hopefully aims to give financial advice unless they're a complete professional and I've got, the license. Do you even need a license? I don't know. Nothing's ever financial advice. And nothing's ever perfect as well. Some people might say you've got a 100% winning trade. Yeah, I'm saying. So, yeah, anyway. Having a nosy. Someone said so pretty. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hopefully you talk about me and not the charts. If you're talking about the charts, though, I still do appreciate it. Someone said no. I don't know what's going on there. Do you disagree with me? Balance EIOZ. So is it going down a little and coming back up? I don't know what time frame that chat was on. If you're talking about Solana, then yeah, but a tiny bit. For Bitcoin, on the long time frame, yes. For Ethereum, I don't think so. Personally, not financial advice. As well, Mike's always in the Binance, right? He's putting all these comment boxes, and you know we're like, oh, these spammers, this that, the other, like we don't like having it because we can't see what's going on. This is spam. I can't see what's going on. I can't see the chat. But anyway, Calupian, I'm so happy today. I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad. I'm glad you're happy. Yeah, I'm glad. Is a MACD a good indicator? Yeah, I mean, again, I say this quite often for Sui. Hopefully you're still here. If not, then whatever. I think unless you've got a strategy which is like purposely going against something, this or the other, I think pretty much most strategies can work. People make profit on anything. You know, pretty much anything. I think that the main thing is risk management and appropriate stop losses and take profits. Obviously, this is like some cookie cutter information. But that's before I go into the question, I think most of these can work. So if you can build a strategy around MACD and it works, that's your thing. I'm never going to say, oh, I hate your strategy, this is trash. I'm going to say, oh, this is stupid. I'm going to try things for myself. If they don't work for me, they don't work for me. So for example, like, you know, MACD, I never really used it. I occasionally used it, but I just never built a strategy upon it. For me personally, I find things which work for me, and I find things which I like, and then I use them. So, for example, I was for quite a while. I used market for B, order blocks, and basically chart patterns. That's not my main thing. But now I'm kind of leaning towards more kind of basic fundamental stuff. I've got goal back levels now, which I occasionally use. I've got fair value gaps. I never used to use fair value gaps, but I'm starting to try to use them a bit more now because you have to understand the nuance of the fact that they don't always work, and you have to be careful of flipping them. And sometimes they just don't work well. You know what I'm saying? And rejection blocks, I've started to use them. Some different types of order blocks. And I still use chart patterns as well. I don't really use as many things on the screen. Volume candles, I use them as well. Occasionally, I found those make sense to me. Volume analysis, especially, it makes sense to me in my head. So if the MACD makes sense to you, and you think, and you can watch the price action, you can see the MACD, and you go, I think this is going to happen, or it makes sense to why this happened because of this. Then use it, absolutely. So is it a good indicator? This is I feel my answer is a bit horrible because I'm saying it's up to you, but people have probably made a lot of money off the MACD or a MACD strategy. So, you know, look around some different strategies or strategies which incorporate the MACD. Give them a go. If you don't like it, then try another one. You know, you have to be willing to spend a lot of time trying different things. Even me, I try different things. Even though I'm someone who, you know, puts myself onto, streams and talks about the charts, I still try different things all the time because I'm always trying to expand my methodologies and try and find the best thing. Obviously, you don't want to be switching entire strategies, but I don't think it's a problem when you try and incorporate different things here and there to try and give yourself like the best, chance, I suppose, of winning, I suppose. What GameFi coin do you prefer? That's a great question. I haven't looked at many games in a while. I know there was that hamster one, or the Overwatch hamsters, which I think the game looks cool. I never tried it. Apparently, though, I think I've heard, I might be completely wrong, apparently they had 300 million people playing it. I don't believe that, unless it's Asian countries. 'Cause I know there's a huge market for those sorts of games there. But from what I know about normal games, like Web 2 games and Web 3, 300 million people playing a crypto game is mental. I could be wrong though. I think that looks like the most fun game to me. But personally, I think as soon as everyone gets airdropped the coins, the coin's it's gonna be a mass sell-off, and the coin's gonna devalue. So be careful of that. But startless. There you go. Ray Sasha, cheers, mate. Well, hopefully, thank you. I'm glad I can help you. Did I answer a question? I must have answered a question or something. Tom, market price prediction. I'll have a look now. Also, I've got 15 minutes left. I do want to try and keep it to 10, or in my time, 10. But do put some coins. I have 15 minutes, so I can spare some time. So, Tom, market. I will look at that. Why did I miss it? What did you miss? Oh, the beam giveaway. Right, okay. Seen BMX. I can look at BMX. Thanks for sharing. Well, thank you for joining. Okay, I'm not gonna give you $5. Okay, so I guess we'll go. So Tom, I don't know what the ticker name of this is. Is it just Tom? Could it just be Tom Coin? Is that what it is? Can you tell me? Okay, can you tell me what the ticker is? Because you said Tom Market. I don't know what the ticker is. I don't know. You know what? Hold on. Tom Finance. Is it just Tom? Is it on? Is it Tom Coin? All right. So for the guy who asked, where is it? Where's it? I'm trying to find the comment now. Where? Mate, trust us some UCT. I'm not giving you UCT. For Dr. Iffy, can you put some coins? Thank you. Oh, you put in coins. Okay, let me. Welcome to the chat. Siri, I can look at Siri. Okay, wait, hold on. There's a lot of coins now. It's with an X. Oh, okay, it's with an X. Oh, for the token. Oh, so you just want Beam. Okay, fine. Okay. Siri, I can do Siri. I think we have other coins suggested. I'll do 0. Okay, I'll do that one. Beam as well. I don't know what. I don't know if it's Tom Coin. I don't know if that's the right one. So for the guy who asked, yeah, I'll look at 0. I've written that down. I don't know where the guy is who asked for Dr. Iffy. I don't know if you've... Okay, I'll leave it for now. I'll just... Okay, I'm going to start on Beam because that's the first one. So you just want Beam USDT. There we go. Have a little nosy. So let's see some prices. Let's go on the daily. Go outside and then start looking in. So let's go on the weekly. I want to see some like general stuff. I want to see like really, really wide range stuff. See what's going on. So what's going on right now? Let's have a look. So we had a tiny gap here. Had a gap here which we already filled. Had a teeny weeny gap here. As you can see. A tiny gap here which we filled nicely. Gap down here which we haven't filled. Obviously we're not going to fill it. Order block though here. Technically. So quite a wide thing there. We had a gap here which we've basically filled. Obviously wicked outside of it. We've basically filled. I think it requires a print outside. So you can see we've can do a red there. So we can see that. We've got other gaps up here. So I'm going to draw this gap as well. We also need to bear in mind the premium discount. Or I would like to. So if we do from this bottom, let's say, even though that's going to be really low, I don't really care. It doesn't matter. So you can see where did this form? This formed in the premium. So this is going to be a good thing here. Let's see what else. This formed in a buy. You can see this formed in a discount. We used it. This formed a discount. But you can see here, this worked, but it wasn't very good. It wasn't a long-lasting move. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we've figured that out now. Anything else? Let's have a little nosy. This could be a rejection block up here. To bear in mind, it's going to be a rejection block. This was also a rejection block, which we obviously eventually surpassed, so that doesn't matter. But importantly, it's going to be this rejection block, which we haven't come to yet. So let me change this like a purple, because I don't like having everything the same color. So we've got stuff on the weekly, so let's start to move in now. Let's go on the daily. So you can see this was okay, you can see it even better on the daily. We had that weekly fair value gap, filled this fair value gap, also caused an order block to form from the fair value gap here, which is going to be good resistance. So we've filled this, which you can see right there. You can see we've filled this fair value gap. So we can delete it now and only use the order block. This was a order block as well here. You can see we're respecting the midpoint pretty well. Nice use of this gap here. We've got a really decent amount of hoverage here. So this is going to be a decent area of support and or resistance. So there's another point there. Scrolling up, we've got also these rejections. So I'm going to do this wide range here. This is going to be a rough area. Let me do rejections only. So this is going to be a rough area of like sell. Also bearing in mind this order block here. So we should probably delete this now. So we've got order block there as well. I don't want to draw too many because I don't want to make the chart too messy. And then obviously we move up to here to these gaps up here. So I'm going to use this for now. So now we can go to the 4 hour, have a little nosy. Forming this order block right now as we move. Order block up here. So what I can expect to go on. And we can also see, are we respecting the market? Looking at this chart, chart and the patterns we're doing and the movement, are we respecting what the other market's doing? This is always a good test. You always want to bear this in mind in terms of if you're looking at an altcoin or a meme coin, is the price action similar to how we see Bitcoin, Ethereum and Solana? Even though currently right now, to be fair, the market is slightly diverging in the way it's moving. Are we moving similar to each other? Also got this order block here. As you can see, this bounces off. So we've got this good range here for resistance. So I think we're coming towards this resistance point. What could happen is, are we negative or not? Well, we've got down, up, down, a new high. We start to come down, but we came down again. So you can start to see like double bottom, come back up to this area, but you can still see like we're coming down again. And then we're starting to form potentially, especially bearing in mind, order block, breaker block here, order block here. So we've got two double whammies of resistance, which we're probably going to bounce off, have a double bottom here, come back to this bottom line of this weekly order block on the daily. We do have a lot of difficulty right now where we are for BMX. So I could expect, if you do want a position to enter in, come to about 16422, shorting to about, let's say, the midpoint, stop loss above the order block, about there. So you can get a good, even just a spot, or maybe a 10x if you wanted to. So this is a good 4.3 risk to reward ratio. You could probably get down to about here if this follows through, that is, bearing that in mind. We've already filled this. There's no gap here. I'm looking if there's any other gaps to fill. I don't think so. So I suppose then it's just surpassing the neckline, really, of this, coming down to this bottom and surpassing this midpoint. There's no wicks or anything. There's technically an order block, slightly it's an alright order block there, technically. You can see the top line of this order block is the bottom line of here. So again, just the more confidence that this midpoint of this order block on the weekly is going to be good. So this could be a good short from about 16422 down to 12549. Stop loss about 17310. Not financial advice at all in the slightest, but just something I would maybe trade on. But in terms of the long stuff, again, this is daily though, to be fair, so this will take a while to do. So if you want something shorter, like on the 1 hour, I think we've got a huge amount of liquidity going on right now. So you can see, like, high, okay, not here. You can see hovering. You can see high here, rough high, relative equal high, relative equal high, relative equal high. So if we start to have a candle body outside, if we come to like 16222, this will be our downwards movement. But again, this wick could be our wick upwards and then downwards again for this sweep on this here. So I think in terms of over the next coming into a couple hours, maybe day, we could sweep this and come upwards. But again, look at this structure. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Potentially doing a higher high. This could be our sweep. If not, we've got an equal high, and then we could change market trend and come down again. But bear in mind what we're doing on the daily. I think we're going to eventually come up regardless to this high, about 16. Yeah. So I'll probably take that trade if we get there. Obviously, not financial advice or anything. So yeah, I guess I'll just wait on this for Beam. I'm going to move on now because I've got a lot of coins to cover. We've got Zero. I'll do this quickly. Oh, I've already looked at this. Nice. Okay. So what have we done? Nice order block. Came up to some areas. Fair value gap here, which we obviously filled and then some, which was alright, I suppose. We had this here. I don't know why I drew this for. We can see, actually, what was this? Like a fair value gap or something? Oh, yeah. Really good this. Really good, let me draw this properly. There we go. Really nice order block here. Came into it, came right down. Really, really good. So this is going to be a good resistance regardless. Looking back, what do we have? We've got a consistent price here, which is good. Let me just change to black really quickly. Got a consistent price here, which you see we roughly came to like a lower high again. This is more so of an order block. You can see, whoops. You can see with this especially, like you can see this move, then move back upwards. You can see support, flipped, support, try to sweep, and then support. So this is going to be a good area as well. As you can see, we came to the top of it again, and then came to the bottom. So good resistance there. This is going to be support down here, these order blocks, these two equal candles. So a good order block here as well for support. You can see used it pretty well, and then obviously came up. So I drew these highs as areas to surpass. Obviously had these equal highs which we sweeped and then came down. So this is good as well. Obviously we surpass these eventually. and then we had a gap down here, which we haven't come to because we have this order block. So looking at what we're doing right now, we obviously have a nice structured, we could have a lower high, or we could be in some sort of thing where we're having this like equal bottoms and then come down. So we could hold this order block as support if we come down and then have, a trend line of movement. If we do the candle bodies, actually, a trend line of movement like this, with the order block being where this support is, coming down, we could have something like this potentially. Bear in mind what we're doing. We have this area of a gap which we're using. We've filled this. We can see we didn't really use that too well. Obviously, we also have to bear in mind what's our range right now. Well, let's do from, let's say, this bottom to this top, and you can see we're going to be in a good uptrend. But you can see again, where are we holding the most hoverage in the rough equal areas, in the equilibrium. So we do equal GB level. You can see we come into equilibrium and then we came out. Equilibrium came out. Equilibrium formed this order block. Oh no, this is actually now a mitigation block. This makes sense. Bear in mind, what is the okay, it's gonna have the list of it. Here it is. So you can see this. So it goes, where's the bottom? So you can see here. So this is equilibrium, these red lines. And then what's next to these? Bearish mitigation block and bullish mitigation block. So you can see, this is a bullish mitigation block on the upper end. You can see that right now. Or it's mitigation of the bearish, but it's still bullish in terms of its support. So you can see we formed that right now in this area, which is perfect. So again, good levels here. So we're going to be holding this probably as support in this rough area as we come up to these areas. You can see also these wicks really nicely on these GB levels. So I think we've continued to come down back towards 3.75, 3.8, and then we come back up again towards 4.2 and whatnot. So could ride it up from the long, back from here maybe up towards 4.2, depending on where you see the price go to, maybe even 4.5, 1.5 I should probably say. Maybe equilibrium being the stop loss, or maybe even conservative back here for a 2 risk reward ratio, but probably where the equilibrium start is below the order block there. So this could be a good 3.23 if we come up again. I think we could have something like this. Kind of hovering into this, but I think this is also a chart pattern in terms of like a rising triangle thingy. So let's just see if we drew it. We could come up. Where's that? Look at how perfect that is. That is previous order block up here. This is expansion. The minus 11 and the positive 11s of the GB levels. This is expansion. So this is when if you come to these levels where you change the range into a higher area, and this perfectly surpasses this into this order block. So we could have something like that. Obviously, this is a huge movement for zero. So I could see something like this eventually. But I think we come down. I think I would get in this kind of rough trend right now, unless we break this. If we did break it, I think we just come into equilibrium. So I don't think we come any lower than 3.6 because we've flipped this now. We're in the up area. You can see we flipped it, like holding below equilibrium for the longest time. We flip equilibrium and now we used it as support. So I think the minimum we come to is, look, 3.6 right here. So 3.6 is minimum I see currently for zero. Having this coming down right now and then coming upwards in this kind of chart pattern. We have like 0 minutes, so I'm going to look at Sui really quickly. I don't know if I've done it yet. Let me check the chat really quickly. It's just spam. Yeah, okay, so nothing in the chat. So I've looked at Zero, I've looked at Beam. Beam and Zero, I'm going to do Sui now. And that's the last one I'm going to do. I think there's other coins, I'm sorry. I apologise. I couldn't find that. I couldn't find the right one. I don't know if the guy's here anymore who asked for the coin. But let's just do Sui. So let's go on the weekly, have our analysis on the weekly and then zoom in. So draw our levels, potentially, from this. This is going to be some really high stuff right now. Just look how nice that is, though. Look at that wick there, especially. So pretty nice. But again, that wick, I don't like it because obviously this is when the thing starts. So I'd rather do it from down here, probably, than anything else because, It's just more accurate. And you can see this is used a lot better, especially these ranges, especially at equilibrium. So if we start to zoom in on daily, you can see some nice bounces on some of these GB levels, and especially these wicks here. But again, this is some wide. I'm going to delete this because I don't want it on the wide range of things. Let's only look on the weekly. Again, looking back at premium discount from here to here, it's kind of obvious where the premium discount is right now. So you can see, okay, support-based things down here. Let's have a little nosy. What can we see down here? Well, we're going to have, this is definitely an order block down here for sure. Quite far away though, to be fair, but for a order block nonetheless. And remember, this is rejection block territory. So this actually will probably go smaller because the difference between this wick and this line is rejection block. And you can see in this direct area, this is rejection block. So this is going to be 40.5 cent down here. This is also, it goes rejection block, order block, fair value gap. What do you see? Order block. What happens? We came to the order block and it's perfect. I'm telling you, GB levels are really, really good to look at. Let me draw it properly. Look at that, really, really nice there. So then fair value gap's next, but again, it doesn't really matter too much in terms of exactly where we come to. It's also started to get a bit messy. So let me go to the 4 hour now. And zoom, actually daily even, and let me zoom in a bit. Again, look, so RBOB fair value gap. So this is going to be a good fair value gap. This is going to be a fair value gap. We've came into it. Came into it. You can come into fair value gaps a couple of times. So I think we're going to come up from where we are right now. Obviously, this is technically a fair value gap in the fair value gap area. Bear that in mind. So we haven't touched it yet. So we could have a bit of a movement like that. So we could have something like this. This is definitely going to be something we see ourselves come into. We've already come into it and come out. So you can see that technically we've already come into it and they've already come up pretty largely. So that's something to remember. This is just liquidity voice. This is where we have high movements and then continue onwards. But equal highs up here as well, which is pretty nice to see. So this is going to be an important price at $1.17. This is also important back there, which we've already kind of sweeps already, I suppose. Again, an RBOB fair value gap. So let's have a little look again. Actually, no, where is it? RBOB fair value gap. Actually, no, this is liquidity void, but again, it's still a fair value gap in the discount area. Because there's multiple ways of looking at it, but importantly is the discount and premium. So maybe this actually isn't going to be something we see too much. This is a resistance. Actually, well, to be fair, this is kind of a rejection block here, though, which we can see we came into and came down. So this is going to be our resistance. We might fill this entire thing and then come up again, because you can see we've responded, came up, came down, we're slightly hovering now, so we could respond again from this and come upwards. So we could have one of these like little cone things going on, which I think is one of these like things like this, you know. Could have something like this. This is a chart pattern technically, so it would be kind of like this, down up towards this midpoint of this rejection block again. So it could be a good long from here up to the top of here, and then obviously, you know, stop loss maybe below the midpoint. I mean, to flip it, you'd have to be down here and printed properly. So I know that's a horrible percentage, and it's just too wide. So I mean, conservatively, I think you could probably do maybe this low again, or maybe this low actually, because you can see like this is kind of a again a bit of a rejection block there. You can see, you know, we've formed it. Actually, no, to be fair, this is rejection block. So you can see rejection block, you know, support, obviously flipped it, resistance came down, flipped, support again. So anything below that is probably going to be something considerable. So you could probably bump this up a tiny bit to about 7.4, about 75, 7.4, 80, and then obviously the long being up here. So this is technically something. This is technically a chart pattern coming back into this fair value gap, because I've already shown previously in like Bitcoin chart, for example, you can come into fair value gaps and use them multiple times. So we could see that and then come back upwards towards this rejection block and the midpoint at about $1.07 for SUI. I could see that $1.07 for sure. So I think that is pretty much it though. I reckon long hair, Mike. Yeah, well, obviously I've got more hair than him, you know, obviously, and I do provide, you know, same if not arguably better in terms of TA side. Obviously, you know, he's got the, you know, Actually, hold on. I'm sorry. I forgot that. I forgot this was the wick. I forgot. I didn't even see that. Okay, never mind. Not up there. I forgot that was the wick. But though, to be fair, though, this is technically a good thing because this is now a bull flag. Up to basically. Let me draw this properly. Make sure it's properly drawn. You see, it wasn't drawn properly. I'm not gonna guarantee it, but this could be equilibrium bounce. You can see this bounce takes us to equilibrium, which is somewhere you see multiple times. So you can see sweep of liquidity and equilibrium. I think we have a bull flag. We're going to see $1.25. I have no water either. Sorry about that. I think if we see $1.25 and then come down from this either number one sweep, number two equilibrium, back towards the flip of rejection block, probably at about $1.11 area. I didn't even see this. So you could probably trade the trend. You could probably long. You could probably long up to, you know, about $1 maybe. But you know, if we draw this properly, let's draw this, you know, with a path tool. Let's say we have one more bounce. We could see that. There you go. So I think we could see this. Let me remove that because it's pretty accurate from what we have right now. And yeah, that's what I can see for Sui. So let's say you got in. Let's say you got in perfectly. Theory. Okay. Oh no, actually no. Break. You want to look for the breakout. So stop loss would be back into the range, maybe below this GB level. So about 4.27 with a 30% profit. Getting in about 95 cent, and then getting out about $1.25. In equilibrium, obviously this sweep. But again, once we see this, I think we'll have a big response downwards because of the sweep of liquidity. So I think when we come to this area, I think could be a good. You could even flip it. So maybe going stop loss either above equilibrium point or maybe that could be good. Maybe something here. Yeah, probably at this point, and then shorten it maybe back down to midpoint of rejection block, something like that. Maybe at that $1.06, you could get that, or if we shimmy it up a bit, maybe $1.12. So something like this, you could flip it like this. Could see that, I reckon. A big move upwards and then a big retracement backwards because of this sweep. Because this is going to be a sweep for sure. Because look at these highs. Want to buy some SOL, BNB, dupe, and Ethereum is a good time. Ethereum is a very good time. I've already talked about this. I think we're going to go up a decent amount. So 11.65. I think Ethereum's a good time. SOL, I think SOL's a good time, especially right now because of this low we've had. This basically is a big sweep. I don't know if we've already gone up though. You can see we're already coming up now. We actually did form this this gap, which was nice. It's a bit low there to be fair, in my opinion though. I think now could be a good time in this rough, you know, 136, 135 range. I think we do come up quite a bit. I've already talked about 143, so now could be a definitely good time. BNB dupe, I'm not sure, but I'm at 8 minutes over the stream. I do have to end it because I've been yapping for a long time. Go check the Binance chat one last time, just see if anyone's going on. Look interesting. I appreciate that. Salam Hassan, very nice work. Really nice work. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I try my best, like I said. That was really loud. So, you know, if you want some more information on, you know, whatever I've looked at today, again, I'm not like a personal tutor or anything. Obviously, if people did want it, I could do some like, you know, online meetings with people if they wanted to you know, me to talk about how I do things. Just throwing that in the air. But you know, if you want to come ask questions or you just want to you know, some of the TA I've done this stream, which you want to talk to the community, you can come to the public Telegram in the description. You can come talk to us or anybody else. If you want, you know, oh, what was that chart? Or let's say I've looked at Sui or Zero or ZRO, what it's called. If you do want, overall, okay, I will look at Bitcoin money flow while I'm doing this, or while I'm speaking. Sorry. If you do want any of the charts or the trades, like if you want some data on this, if you do want to take it, not financial advice, then you can come to the Telegram and ask me, and I will post the screenshots of my charts. Let's see what the large. Okay, no, let's get stupid. Let's go daily. Money flow is coming down. Big stochastic RSI coming down. RSI is coming down. We're starting to come up a bit. Momentum's from a good position downwards, so pretty good. Let's go weekly. That's not good. That's really not good on the weekly. Pretty coming down. Also, slightly, I didn't even see this, because on the weekly of Bitcoin, we're starting to potentially produce, if we come back down to 58, and again, what did I say? I think we can come to 56 at least. In 2 days, if we print at 58,473, not saying we do, we could have, or no, if we print below 58,473 in the next 2 days, we could have a order block, a negative order block, which is not going to be positive in the slightest for Bitcoin. Let's go to the 4 hour really quickly. It's hovering, but mainly, let's look at the daily, weekly. It's coming down. Especially the weekly, this isn't good. This isn't very good money flow. This is pretty bad. Pretty bad. So that's the money flow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate all of you. If you can, if you enjoyed it, you want to see some more, subscribe, follow, like it. Really appreciate it. If you want to support us monetarily, don't have to. Feel free. YouTube member, we have some membership videos on there. $2.99 a month. You get the Crypto Warehouse OG group. You get indicators. I can probably show some off actually. On this chart, I guess. You get some indicators. Okay, let me get a clean chart up of just random Bitcoin, let's say. I don't know. There we go. Let's just get this random. I don't know why I have stupid green lines. Oh my god. What is this? What do I have all these lines for? Okay, this is trashed here. That's what it was. Let me get rid of all this really quick so I can show you. So, if you do want to, $2.99 a month, if you want to support the channel, you do get some indicators. Obviously, if you want to come get them. It's decent. Obviously, you have a lot of settings to change. Again, these are all customizable. So obviously, you can do like low frequency, you get some good trades here, a decent buy, a decent sell. You can do high frequency if you want to trade fast. Again, these are going to be riskier ones. You can see decent sell, decent buy to the decent sell. So again, a decent sell here to this buy would be about, let's say, 3%. This sell right now, you've got these ranges as well where you could have reversals. It's decent. It's a good indicator if you want to come get it. None of it's really financial advice, and there's never going to be a magical indicator. This is what I'm trying to preface, though. So this is a good indicator if you want to come get that. That's in the Telegram. You can come ask me as well for the membership one. There's another one. There's what other ones do we have? Got Marcus Alpha BNA, custom made by us. We've got a magic line. I'm not going to show that one. The one I do want to show, simple significance. This is the big dog. All right, this is the big dog indicator from Crypto Warehouse. These are where the lines are. You can see it, and this is the thing, because I draw my own support and resistance, right? I draw my own ways in my rejection blocks, order blocks, lines. But this is really good. I use it quite often if I am doing some personal stuff on some altcoins and I can't be bothered to draw any support and resistance. It speaks for itself. You can see how good it is. 2% padding as well, especially. This is an automatic support and resistance drawing. So you could have a completely fresh chart and automatically have these support and resistance lines. Again, obviously we do work out of them, but look at these lines. Look how well it is. This here, this here, this here, this here, this here. And especially 2% padding, really, really important as well. This here, 2% padding. Here as well, here as well, here as well, back here as well. This line obviously is high. These two highs, back here. Let's scroll back more. These are here. So this is a fresh chart. Again, it's never going to be perfect. Nothing's ever going to be completely perfect. But again, it's a decent support and resistance drawing indicator. So if you do want something like these tools, come get them. $2.99 a month. You get all the indicators forever. So, do stop by. So thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I am 30 minutes of the stream, so I do need to end. Thank you guys, and I will I'll see you. I will see you guys. It's Friday today. Probably Monday. I don't think we're doing anything Wednesday, so probably Monday, Wednesday, either Monday and Wednesday or Thursday. But I'll see you guys Monday anyway. So 2nd of September. See you guys next stream. Appreciate it, and yeah, goodbye.